The life, example, and even death of Christ follower and American patriot Charlie Kirk give me hope. Sheer courage, no matter the arena. Like those on 9/11, he will never be forgotten.
So that was Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth comparing Charlie Kirk to the policemen, the firefighters, the first responders who died on 9/11. And I know that we're not done, like the deadline isn't in for how over the top people can go with the whole Charlie Kirk thing. So I can't like definitively say that this is the most over the top thing. Maybe someone will figure out something in the next couple weeks, but it feels kind of big, like people who ran into a burning, collapsing building and willingly gave their lives, or dug people's remains out of the rubble and condemned themselves to years of respiratory illnesses and cancers, and many died as a result of it. Like, I like talking to a camera. I like chatting about politics. That's my job too. But I don't think it's first responder level stuff. Like, I think we might be getting ahead of ourselves. But anyway, Hegseth is apparently serious about this, not just in his speeches, but in the witch hunt that he is now doing behind the scenes. He has ordered the Pentagon to investigate effectively anyone who might have said anything that he can even interpret as being negative about Charlie Kirk. Not celebrating the murder necessarily, but anything that is negative. You are not allowed to say that and work for the government. They've investigated nearly 300 employees of the Department of Defense, including service members. So they're veterans, but they said something bad about Charlie Kirk, which now totally overrides their ability to die in defense of their nation. Civilian workers as well, contractors, and they're effectively saying, like, whatever freedom of speech you thought you had to critique someone who you disagreed with, you don't have that actually. And your career prospects can be significantly hampered as a result of this investigation. You can even be fired, and many appear to have been actually removed from their employment for saying things that this blowhard doesn't like. What do you think, Brett?
I mean, this is, if the idea was that Charlie Kirk was a champion of free speech and open discourse, you are tarnishing his legacy and learning the wrong lesson from him in your own framing if you say it's not okay to talk trash about the guy. Period. This is a guy who says, the Supreme Court said you can burn flags in protest. Trump says you can't. That's against free speech. Trump's accidentally, kind of on purpose, said that he has removed free speech from people.
Yeah.
And I'm not the only one saying this. This is a growing chorus from the manosphere who was mad at lefties for saying, like, don't be so mean when you say that bad word, of that slur about people. We went from that, from like, hey, I'm not gonna laugh anymore when I think you're just being mean and not funny, and turning it into, now you're gonna go to jail if you say stuff against a guy who said you shouldn't go to jail for saying stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, it is my contention that Charlie Kirk, they deny, like Chris Cuomo was like denied the fact that Charlie Kirk said the passage of the Civil Rights Act was a huge mistake. I looked into this. No, he said that. Charlie Kirk's MO was already to have a political agenda. And rather than evaluate whether that political agenda was good or bad, if something very obviously proved that his political agenda was evil or horrible or terrible, he would just take $100 million a year in donations. Don't quote me on that, but it was an insane amount. And use that as runway to figure out how to give people permission to say horrible stuff about an obviously good thing, like Martin Luther King Jr. That was that's something he did. And that's a very good parallel to draw in this scenario, because like Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated for his beliefs the way Charlie Kirk, it seems, was.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take this opportunity to give you permission to say horrible stuff about Charlie Kirk that isn't true. But he did.
And the crazy thing, literally the stuff that I started out when, especially yours, which was more directly, like you quoted him. Like, we happen to work at a place where we can do that, but especially a few weeks ago, lots of people did not.
Like,
you
that's the thing.
could not quote him. And I'm gonna be completely honest right now. In the immediate aftermath, I was concerned, even though I've never been given any indication that I would be fired or whatever. Cenk has never given me any reason to believe that. But I was worried that I could be targeted, that there could be death threats to me and my family, literally just for quoting him in the wake of it. That we have never, correct me if I'm wrong, Brett, you're always fully capable of that. I don't think we've ever had like as chilling and dark like a week or two for free speech in America as we did in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death, in terms of how hostile and violent the right wing was about that.
Yes, but like, and the thing is, like I said, I was in an argument with some Aussies in Tokyo about this because that's where I was when it happened, and I kept saying like, guys should be so alive right now. It's insane that someone would spend a second thinking maybe I should do this. It's insane, it's horrible, it's evil, it's heinous, period. But Charlie Kirk wants you to have the conversation regardless of how uncomfortable it makes you. He is my new savior. I believe that. But now I'm gonna be punished for it in a court of law. And the worst part is the thing that triggered the right wing the most in the wake of this was not making stuff up about Charlie Kirk. It's, as you said, just showing what he actually said. And they wanna ban that because that's it. Meanwhile, like it's what Nick Fuentes does, it's what Tucker Carlson does, it's what Charlie Kirk did. It's just like, I'm gonna say, I'm just, and yeah, they're mad at it.